What's up, you skunks? It is Wednesday, and we got the Kristian Harloff Show here today. I'm by my lonesome. There's more of this bid, man. Paramount, Netflix, Comcast. They're all trying to get Warner Brothers. What's the deal with the deal? Gonna dive into that. Wicked for Good reviews. I seem to be one of the only ones that really like this movie. We'll see. What else? Avengers Doomsday has some rumors to it. And really gonna dive kind of deep into the the story with Warner Brothers. That's really what we're going to get into today. So how much more of the other stuff we covered today, I have no idea. But nonetheless, we're going to have a good show, me and you discussing all things in the world of entertainment. So let's do it. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show here, Kristian Harloff Show, today on this Wednesday. Maybe one of two things going to happen. We're definitely getting a solo show today, obviously, and there's a possibility of getting a solo show tomorrow. Steph's not available, so it's either going to be a solo show or no show. I haven't decided on that yet. So what's going on with the backdrop? Things. So we are going to be discussing a lot today. And inside of this deal, I'm excited about it. I'm also excited in the fact that we're getting closer and closer to some more information about the Kickstarter and everything else that's going on, because we are putting together something pretty special, something I don't think has actually really been discussed or done in the Kickstarter. So, yeah. All right. The first thing I want to talk about, though, is this deal, Warner Brothers deal. Something's going to happen soon. And there's so much. So I'm going to kind of read at length this Variety article because it's crazy. The bids are going to be in. Yeah. So people who are going to be talking about the curtain the whole time, it's Sarah's setup. And why didn't it change it? Because I'm too fucking lazy. I didn't want to do it. And I literally, all I have to do is this. Just like this. And it goes away. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't do that because I didn't want to. So, as they say in certain parts of France, deal with that shit, fuckos. All right. Warner Brothers Discovery bids are due this week. How do Paramount, Netflix, Comcast, how do they all stack up? We're going to find out. So, your privacy rights, fuck them. Todd Spangler writes, the for sale sign is fully lit on Warner Brothers Discovery, and 3 legitimate bidders are putting together offers. You got David Ellison's Paramount Skydance, which wants the whole enchilada. Netflix, Comcast, which are eyeing the streaming and studio operations. Warner Brothers Discovery has set a November 20th deadline for first round bids, which would be non-binding, sources told Variety. Confirming an earlier report by the Wall Street Journal, the board is expected to meet before Thanksgiving to evaluate the offers and aims to have the process wrapped by year-end. Interessante, Carlo Brigante. Of course, Warner Brothers has rejected an Ellison bid of $23.5 a share, could stay on its original course and split into 2, with Zaslav heading Warner Brothers and current CFO Gunnar Wiedfelds leading the TV-centric Discovery Global. But the board, if it is really acting in its best interest of the shareholders, will be forced to accept a bid that results in the maximum windfall. A standalone Warner Brothers would have an enterprise value of $44 billion and $37 billion equity per estimates by Wall Street research firm MoffettNathanson says. And Zaslav's hypothesis is that Warner Brothers streaming and studios separated from the flagging TV biz would be worth more than it is as part of the current WBD. Question is, how aggressive the Ellisons, Netflix, and Comcast will be in trying to land what could be a once-in-a-blue-moon chance to seize the assets of one of Hollywood's legendary companies. So here's the potential of each bidder's position. This is what I like to discuss today. One of Ellison's key arguments is that he is the best dance partner for WBD compared with the other 2 leading contenders. He and his father, Larry, are, it's still a fun name to say. Sorry. He and his father, Larry, are friends with Trump. And there are regulatory pitfalls with Comcast and Netflix. Ellison is a motivated bidder. And the logic is that combining Paramount Skydance with Warner Brothers would produce a scaled-up powerhouse that emerges as one of the biggest in media and entertainment. But at the same time, Ellison is signaling that he's not irrationally exuberant. He told investors last week on Paramount Skydance's first earnings call, it is important to know there is no must-have for us. Bullshit. We really look at this as buy versus build, and we absolutely have the ability to build to get to where we want to go. What about antitrust issues with Paramount? Warner Bros. Consolidating two major studios. The Ellison camp would suggest that such a union introduces a far stronger competitor to the likes of Disney and Netflix. The Ellison family, i.e. Larry, is fully backstopping the play for Warner Brothers with participation from Redbird Capital, which helped fund the Paramount Global deal. Netflix, which I don't think is a shot in hell here. In public, CEO Ted Sarandos and Greg Peters have stayed on message about the streaming heavyweight historically leading on the build side of the build on the build side of the build versus buy question, but the chance to snap up Warner Brothers with its deep film and TV libraries, extensive production capabilities, and HBO Max is an opportunity that would not be remiss to investigate. Netflix has the stock with $470 billion plus market cap and cash on hand, which is another $9.3 billion to make a credible bid. An offer would likely be all stock, but the streamer isn't in spend at all cost mode either. Note that Netflix passed on outbidding Ellison for UFC rights, which Paramount acquired in a $7.7 billion year deal with Ari Emanuel-led TKO Group. It's also an antitrust concern with Netflix getting its hand on HBO Max at a Warner Brothers studio, one that Republican Representative Darrell Issa, Republican from California, raised in a November 13th letter to Trump officials before a bid was even in. With more than 300 million global subscribers and a vast content library, Netflix currently wields unequaled market power. And among other complications, Netflix would have to figure out how Warner's fits into their anti-theatrical stance. If Sarandos choose to simply slot the WB slate into the Netflix streaming coup, that's bad news for exhibitors. In any case, there's irony that Netflix is in a position to acquire Warner Brothers coming 15 years after the time Warner chief Jeff Books derided the streamer as the Albanian army. Comcast, the cable and media giant, is undergoing its own split as the Versant cable TV vehicle readies to push off from NBC Universal by year end. Comcast CEO Brian Roberts and Mike Cavanaugh, like Ellison, see huge synergy opportunities by combining HBO Max with Peacock and merging Warner Brothers Studios into Universal, unlike Ellison, though they don't want to buy WBD's cable networks. On the downside, Comcast shares a near a 14-year low, which presents a challenge in the face of Netflix robust stock and the massively wealthy Larry Ellison. Roberts was said to be recently scouting for outside investors to back Comcast Warner Brothers bid. Meanwhile, there's the Trump factor. The president has heaped scorn on Roberts over the coverage he's seen on the left-leaning MSNBC, and some analysts say that the personal enmity could doom Comcast's chances. There's another potential scenario, one in which Netflix gets the Warner Brothers studio to be led by Zaslav and Comcast buys HBO Max. That'd be messy as hell. But this wouldn't be a logistical and regulatory minefield, and it's not clear everyone would be on board. Greg and Ted really want this, but Reed doesn't want to deal with the regulatory hassles. That sounds messy as hell. Amid all this, what does Zaslav want? He wants the biggest crown that gives him the biggest portfolio, a well-connected exec says. In the current crucible of at least 3 competing bids, this person adds, he and the company's board might just be trying to run up the price. Ding, ding, ding. But they don't also have the idea here of the other thing is the Saudis, and I think that they said that there's potential that Skydance is getting now a back from them, to which they said, no, that's not going to happen. But if they combine together, the Saudis and Paramount, what are you going to do? Because this is another article that came out today that, again, take it with a huge grain of salt, but it was based off the kind of, it's combined to this. And it's the SnyderVerse and all that stuff that we talked about the other day. Now, Cosmic Book News, who's been covering this and says they have a source inside of it, and they definitely have an agenda. There's no doubt about it. But there's some more potentials from their side of things, to which they say the update of the SnyderVerse and what they are hearing from their insiders. And it said the current situation is Variety reported that the Saudis are teaming with Paramount for a full WBD takeover. Now, if that happens, that's going to be who's going to compete with them if they combine together. Shortly after that, Paramount denied it. So no matter how it turns out, the bottom line stays the same. The Saudis want Zack Snyder back, and they want the SnyderVerse restored. If the Saudis back Paramount and win, Snyder wins. If they back Comcast and win, Snyder still wins. Either way, Snyder comes out ahead. As I tweeted, the wild card is Trump, who has been reported to back Skydance and Paramount, while Trump is said to dislike Comcast CEO. My insiders point out that Comcast positioned itself for a bid by creating a separate company to dump the network Trump hates. So that issue may not stop anything. My insiders told me Zach knows exactly what's going on with Trump, and that's why he posted the Henry Cavill Superman image on Veterans Day. Update is that the White House just announced a massive deal worth $600 million with the Saudis after a meeting with Trump. Excuse me. So now this goes into the SnyderVerse side of it. If the SnyderVerse does come back, it means the actors will return to their roles. This is the part of it that I just don't understand. I'm told Henry Cavill is back as Superman. Gal Gadot, how do you know he's back as Superman? The deal's not even done. Gal Gadot is back as Wonder Woman. Jason Momoa will be back as Aquaman, but he's gonna be Lobo. I don't know if I don't. Yeah, this part of it is tough for me to believe. Ray Fisher will be back as Cyborg. Ezra Miller as a Flash, I'm told doubtful. Maybe that's what they want, but back. I mean, there's no deal that's been done yet. How do you know that it's done? The Ben Affleck question. The biggest unknown is Affleck. If you follow the last decade of drama, you know he's been burned multiple times, including being cut from the real ending of The Flash. My insiders say that Affleck possibly returns as Batman, but warns it's a lot of work physically. Obviously, Snyder has a relationship. Snyder's plan and what comes after, he said he's told that the plans for Snyder is to finish the SnyderVerse. He's told that the Saudi Warner Brothers deal has been in the works for some time. It's also the reason that Zaslav passed on Paramount's earlier bid 3 times. Zach is close with the Saudis, and they want his storyline back to rival Marvel and the upcoming Avengers film. Sounds like they're aiming straight at Disney. After Snyder completes his arc, I'm told DC will reboot again, likely under Mike DeLuca, Pam Abdi, the current heads of Warner Brothers Pictures. And this sounds so sloppy and messy. The fate of the DCU and James Gunn. Regarding James Gunn and the DCU, I'm told that if Paramount and the Saudis are indeed teaming up, Gunn's DCU is toast, and Gunn will be forced out due to Gunn's politics. Gunn, the head of DC Studios, posted and said nothing on Veterans Day. I'm also been told that the Man of Tomorrow is just the original plans for Man of Steel 2 with Brainiac. I've been told that if Comcast ends up buying Warner Brothers, there's a real chance Gunn could actually team with Zack Snyder for the SnyderVerse return. All right, now that's an interesting recall right there. We didn't even talk about that. So that's interesting. My insiders say that one idea being floated is Gunn writing the Justice League 2 script with Terry already having a treatment and Snyder directing. This is crazy in general of all the different things we'll talk about. It'll be full circle moment since Gunn and Snyder both got their starts at Universal with Dawn of the Dead. The last one. Okay. I mean, holy moly, there's a lot there, right? There is a lot there. So what do I believe, what I don't believe? Start with that. Well, obviously, the Saudis want to get involved in this thing. That I believe. Obviously. We know that. That's the question is, they're saying, look, hey, Comcast, you want our money? We'll help you buy it. No? Hey, Paramount, you want our money? We'll help you buy it. And then the question is, like, what is their overall thoughts about what they want to do? So if we're going to stick with this story first, I just don't understand as far. Let's hit on the Gunn side of it, right? Where he says that they could work together. So is there a world then what they say? Because this is something we didn't even discuss on Monday when we were talking about this. They have Elseworlds, right? They have Elseworlds. So maybe the idea of, okay, Gunn's sticking around. He's going to run his DC, as they said. And then they go, well, look, we're going to do an Elseworlds, but we want you to focus on your Elseworlds. We want you to focus on, we want to finish the SnyderVerse. He's going to do that. So that's going to be part of Elseworlds. I mean, you set that up that you can do that. Now, the other conflicting part of that is he says, well, Gunn's going to be out because of politics. Well, the report was that Ellison wasn't going to have him out. You know, and if he would say, I think that's a mistake if they do that right away. If they do an Elseworlds thing and they work together, hey, you set up Elseworlds. We already show we're getting the Batman. So if you can do an Elseworlds thing and you're going to do it, maybe it's on streaming or whatever it might be, or it's not theatrical and you want to compete against the Avengers and see how it goes, and the Saudis want to put that together, then, you know, they're the bosses, and if that's what they want, then you do that. But to abandon this plan that they already have, I think you're going to lose. I think you're going to cause a rift in general that you don't want to have. There's clearly going to be the people who are going to be supporting it and want it and are going to be like, yeah, who cares? I hated the gun shit anyway. But there's a lot of people that are like him where he's going his plan. They don't think he's had a chance to really do it yet. So to get rid of him that quick, I think would be a mistake. It would be a major mistake. The other thing that I said that it makes no sense to me is, well, Henry Cavill's back. I mean, Henry Cavill's open to coming back to me. Okay. That to me is like, yeah, him and Snyder have talked. If this thing happens, he's in, but he's back. There's no deal. He's not back. There's no deal. Now, if he's like, I'm in, if this thing goes through, that's something completely different. And the Affleck side of it, true as well. But if you don't get Affleck back, he's like, well, we don't know if Affleck's coming back. Well, then how do you finish the SnyderVerse? You're going to recast? I mean, I guess you can. But I don't know. Then you don't necessarily need. You can recast Ezra. No one's going to care. It's the fact of the matter. You're just not. The Affleck is a trickier one. Momoa come in. Like, what's Momoa's contract? Well, I guess the contract's changed. Do they buy over? How does that work? Like, because he's going to play Lobo, and they're already putting Supergirl out. He's Lobo, and they no, he's back to Aquaman again. Like, what? I think it's very confusing. Clearly, all the actors really enjoying back Snyder, and they want to work with him again. So that's not hard for me to believe. It's just, I'm not putting any stock in. Well, they're all back. There's no deal. They all are interested in coming back, and they're wondering what the hell's happening with this deal. I can see that. I can totally see that. Now, as far as the initial first part of what we were talking about here, with all the different options and opportunities, I still feel it's funny now because, like I said, I think the Saudis are getting their money into this now. Whether it's Paramount, who says no, we're doing it on our own, or Comcast, I think they're going to get involved in it for sure. So I do think, though, and Rocha says this on Monday in general, and I don't think he's wrong. I mean, everything that I read inside of this kind of proves it. There's a big political aspect to this of what, the president is getting involved in it and is saying, well, we want to make sure this happens. And Ellison is kind of has that chip in his pocket that other people they don't have. Now, is he leaning on him to help him or other things the deal coming in, we're going to find out tomorrow, which is insanity. It's insanity that all this stuff is going down. I mean, we're going to find out. We're going to have even more. That's why, like I said in the beginning of the show, I didn't know if I was going to do a story, or show rather, tomorrow. But if this thing breaks again, and we find out exactly what is going to happen or who's in the lead, of course, I'll jump on the air and we'll talk about it. But this is one of the biggest stories in entertainment, maybe ever. It's like it was huge when Disney bought Fox, but this seems even different, right? Because the Netflix side of it, I mean, it makes sense, but it's just like it's sloppy. Like, well, Comcast will get some of it, Netflix will get some of it. Well, you guys can have that, we'll have this, and as opposed to Paramount, who wants the whole thing. And if I'm Warner Brothers, I'm going, I don't want to have lawyers looking at that and go, you guys have this and that percentage, and you guys have this. So these guys want the whole thing. They want everything. Here's what we'll give you. This is how much we want. We know that there's another bid out there. The Saudis direct. They want the whole thing too, and they're going to give us this. You guys give us that. I feel like that's what's going to happen, and I feel like Paramount's going to get it now. I've been saying it. I kind of changed my tune a little bit the other day, but I'm back to the idea that I think the Paramount's going to get it. Skydance, and now when it comes to the point of the SnyderVerse and gun and all that, like I said, I think that what is going to happen is they're going to say, all right, James, I'm your new boss. Here's the deal. Make us go with your movies, the ones that you're going to do, and make us some money. If they make money, like South Park's making us money, then do your shit. If they just do subpar and you're spending too much and it's not making us money, you're going to take some of our notes, and if you don't, and see you later. He's not going to have that kind of like, oh, we got the full, like, oh, we're so excited to have James. James, you're an employee now, and you're going to listen to us, do your thing, make us money, or hit the road. That's what's going to happen. So we'll see. And that's the whole thing. Again, it's the second, third, fourth time this has happened where a story drops, whoever it might be, and we cover it and talk about the Downey thing was doomed. This, a few other things. People are like, why are you covering this website? It's because this is look at it now. This is all shit that is relevant. This is all shit that is really going to affect all of this stuff that we talk about all the damn time. It's crazy how this is shaping up, and I think even when he had that interview, of course he's talking about this gun. Of course he is, and because he doesn't know where the hell he stands. That's why if I'm him right now, you put together all the plans that you have that you can right now with Supergirl, and get people excited about it, and lanterns and all that, and get people pumped about it, so your ass is safe when they go, okay, we have this cut of Supergirl, we have lanterns. Because here's the other thing, what are they going to do? Okay, let's say that this report is 100% accurate, which I don't believe that is, but let's say it is, and that right away they just fire gun is gone, no more gun, and they're going to bring back the SnyderVerse, and everybody's back on board, and the Saudis want it, and so they don't give a shit. So what are they going to do? They're going to take tax breaks on Supergirl, and they're not going to put Supergirl out? They're not going to do lanterns? Or are they going to do the same thing that happened with Gunn last time? Which is, okay, we inherited that, we got to release it. Same scenario would then apply. What if they do that? They get rid of Gunn, they bring in Snyder and everything to reboot it, and then Supergirl crushes, and the new Snyder movie doesn't. And then Lanterns is a ratings killer, and whatever other show they're going to do isn't. That's the scenario that Gunn was in, but it didn't go that way. But I'm just saying, what happens if it does? So it doesn't, or they're just going to bury the shows, and then people will be pissed. You're going to bury Lanterns with that cast? You're going to bury Supergirl with based off of Woman of Tomorrow? What are they going to do? So I think that part of it is the least likely scenario, to be honest with you. I think it is more likely of an Elseworlds type of situation. You know, a movie or two to see, first of all, test the waters and see how they do before you just say, yeah, we want you to do it again. Screw this guy. See you later. Put that Supergirl on the shelf. That wouldn't make sense. That would be bad business. Because the movie's done. You know, the movie's done, and the show is pretty much done. So I don't understand that. Now, jumping back to the sale itself. The sale itself has to happen before we can even really dive into what we're talking about here, right? Because you can speculate all day long. You can speculate all day long of who you think is what's gonna happen once with Gunn and Snyder and this. It doesn't mean jack shit until you know who the leaders are and what that means overall. I thought it was also an interesting side of it too. And like with Comcast going, no, well, here's the deal. We know that Trump is not a fan of MSNBC. We can get rid of it. We're gonna get rid of it if we get it. And then they're trying to appease him. It's crazy that he's so involved in the deal itself, which, you know, this wasn't the case, whatever it was with Disney and Fox. I don't remember. Who was I don't even know. It was Trump president or Biden? I can't remember when that deal went down. I have no idea. But whoever it was, they weren't getting involved in that deal. At least I don't remember them getting involved in the deal this much. So this is a unprecedented time. It's nuts. Doesn't matter if Supergirl's been a profitable character. That has nothing to do with this. If right now the movie itself is a good movie and they're solid with it, and you have an opportunity to get her to be a profitable thing, and the movie's solid based off a really solid comic run, you go with that. And you don't bury it unless it's as bad as Batgirl was. Apparently, I didn't see it, but that's the rumors. So this is nuts. But yeah, I mean, look, there's so much that we're going to hear about soon. Put your thoughts in there. What do you think? Who's getting it? Who's going to win? Live show. We hit 15K in the Clips channel yesterday, guys. So hopefully you guys are subscribed to that channel, and put your comments also in the replay here. More stories to come right now. Good news. Good news. I have 106 to beat for Roca. I got 9 so far. I can do it. So let's now, before we even move on, I want to tell you guys, I'm literally giving the Ridge to so many people for Christmas. I'm sorry, people are going to love this. And then I'll talk about Prize Picks. Getting a Ridge wallet was a game changer. The big, chunky wallet was the worst. It was like a giant, crusty leather brick, just kind of like falling apart at the seams. Well, Ridge, I've been telling you about it. It's unique. They have the slim, kind of modern wallets, and Ridge took their game-changing wallet and made it even better. You can look at that Ridge 2.0. It's the most refined version of the Ridge wallet. It's been perfecting the wallet for 12 years, and everything's better with the Ridge. It's 10% lighter, which is cool. Every gram matters in the Ridge wallet 2.0. They found the perfect balance. Is what I like about them. They made it more modular with improved cash straps, money clips, and the AirTag attachment. There's an improved surface design with tonal logos and matching plate cash straps. I like the Yankee one because that's what they got me, and I dig it. And it's so easy. I love it. Just look at that design. They have over 100,000 5-star reviews, and it's proof that Ridge is a gift people love to receive. It's not just about wallets, too. They create premium everyday carry essentials. They have key cases, they have suitcases, and they're game-changing power banks, all built with the same sleek, durable design. You can find the perfect gift for every wish list. Give the gifts that stay out of the junk drawer and find their way into morning routines, travels, and adventures. I'm getting my brother this. I hope he doesn't watch this because he's going to know how to get him, but that's what I'm going to get him. And for a limited time, Ridge is having their huge Black Friday sale. Head to Ridge, RIDGE.com to get up to 47% off of your order. It's by far the biggest discount that they're going to give all year. That's Ridge.com for up to 47% off your order during the biggest sale of the year. Now, after you purchase it, they're going to say, hey, where did you find us from? You say Kristian Harloff sent you. Support the show and tell them that we sent you. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it is good to be right. Look, I'm having a rough football season. I had a good week, too. The Giants played really, really tough against the Cowboys. It just wasn't my week. But I'll tell you what was. My highlights from Prize Picks. It's so simple. It's so easy to play the game. And you just take some of your favorite players and you can, it doesn't matter. Look, I'll give you an example. You use Barkley, Burrow, Allen, any of them. And Barkley's going to have more or less than one rushing TD. Burrow is going to have more or less than 2.5 passing touchdowns. Allen is going to have more or less than 270 passing yards. It's simple to play. Prize Picks, it's really easy. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join millions of users and sign up today. Download the app today and use that code Kristian to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code Kristian to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Well, thank you to Prize Picks. And thank you to Ridge. I hope that you guys have been checking it out. Really hope you guys have been checking it out. Giving you deals, man. I give you deals on every damn show. And hope you check it out. Okay. You guys rule in general. I just want to tell you, I've been getting a lot of messages about the Kickstarter pilot. It's really it's encouraging. It's very encouraging. When people yesterday asking like when is it happening? When I get involved, they're intrigued about the idea of really being involved in the process of how a television show gets made, and that will make more sense to people when you find out who's involved in this. Like I even told like Luke this morning, I didn't realize I didn't tell him one of the big people that have joined the show. And what's going to happen is, once you guys find out who's involved, and you're going to have an opportunity to really be involved in the process in a way that I don't think has been offered on Kickstarter ever. At least I don't think so. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of an actual television show. And you get to be involved in the making of right? And that's kind of the goal behind it. And again, like I said, when I give more information on who's involved, I think you're going to understand that a lot more. And they'll be on the show to discuss that, and we'll probably do everyday kind of discussions about it and really push it pretty hard once we get it out there. So then people have been giving really great suggestions on things that we should offer. So there you go. Again, I wanted to thank you guys very much so for the encouragement and all that too. So if you're one of the 9 questions today, before we get to the questions thing, you want to ask any things about that, please. I love talking about it, and I love hearing your thoughts about anything that maybe you're not clear on yet that I can try to bring some light to. All right, a couple more things to discuss. I don't know how many more stories I'm going to do before I get to, it could be a shorter show today, but really wanted to cover that one today. But I do want to talk about this. What the hell is that? Oh, we just did that one. That's not the one I want. The hell is it? What the hell just happened there? Oh, here it is. Check this out. This is the story I wanted to tell you guys about. I saw that Roca saw the movie and Wicked 2 last night, and I'm not surprised that he didn't dig it. And I'm not saying he didn't really dig it, but I think that once he got that note from that critic that he really respects, I felt like it was going to line up with that. Again, not saying that's not his honest opinion. I just felt like that's where it was going to go. So, Wicked for Good, the reviews don't defy gravity. Clever, Garth. Clever. A year ago, Wicked was everywhere. The film ran an intense and expensive global marketing campaign designed for maximum populist appeal. From its legendary junket interviews with Holding Space and Naughty Jokes galore, from everywhere, whoever genius paired Jonathan Bailey and Goldblum to huge premieres and marketing tie-ins and pink color schemes, you couldn't escape it. That's less the case with Wicked for Good. The film, which adapts the back half and widely agreed upon weaker half of the stage musical, marketing has been much less ubiquitous this time and is going for more prestige, possibly trying to chase the awards glory that it evaded last time. Not a bad as a decidedly weaker lineup of films in contention this year means it has a shot. Reviews for the new film are in, though, and paint the picture that may not be in the awards juggernaut Universal had hoped for. With 90 reviews counted, Wicked for Good sits at 74% of Rotten Tomatoes, a large drop from the 88% of the first. It's a similar story on Metacritic, where it landed decidedly mixed, 61 out of 100, a bit of a drop from the pretty good 73 out of the first. There's still plenty of praise for the performances, particularly in its 2 female leads and the core emotional relationship of the 2 men, which is the overall story's beating heart. But the overall film seems less well received this time, from the songs to the runtime. I didn't have a problem with the runtime. I actually liked that it was shorter, but I also think that the songs were not as strong as the first one. To the maximalist approach, several of the reviews questioning the choice to split the film now in a way that weren't with the first one. Here's a sampling of reviews. Kate Erbland: the things that missed the mark the first time, well, they still do. The things that worked in Wicked, they still do, but at a clock tick better. Peter DeBruge: the film fixes a common complaint of the show, giving the pair more scenes and together in this final stretch, which now seems a robust tale unto itself. Kevin Mayer: they've only gone and done it. The makers of this musical sequel have delivered a film that surpasses last year's box office smash and Verve. So far, pretty positive. Kristen Lopez: Wicked for Good sticks the landing as best as it can. When Arrivo and Grande are finally together, it does leave a handprint on your heart, even if leading up to it, just drawing that out. Sandra Hall says, no doubt the fans will throw the music all over again, but the impact is lost when every song seems to be straining to be a showstopper. I understand that criticism for sure. Robbie Collin: what makes it so frustrating is that John M. Chu is an established musicals master. His In the Heights is a modern classic of the form, but the corporate stretch it out and writing a dry approach has been deadening. No, they're not like crushing it, but it just seems that, but that's okay. So that's my point, though, right? That was my point from yesterday. So let's go with those negative reviews. The negative reviews that said, it just doesn't land in the music is not as strong and everything too. Does that seem like a 2.9 or under out of 5? Seems like maybe a 3 or a 3.5, 7 out of 10. It seems like from there, like, yeah, there's some really good things in here, but honestly, it kind of misses the mark with these things. But for the most part, their chemistry is good, so it's fine. If you're giving it a 3 out of 5, that is, again, I'm using this every single time we talk about Rotten Tomatoes. 100 people say it's fine and give it a 3 out of 5. That's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. If every single person who said, it's fine, but it's just not that good, if 100 people said 2.9 out of 5, then that's a 0, which doesn't accurately represent it. So I don't really understand, because all those reviews I just read, even the ones that were, it missed the mark, but it wasn't as good as the last one. But to me, when you get in a rotten, it's like, this is just a bad movie, or it's just not good. Anything you get, like, I can't get it to fresh. It's not a fresh movie. So I don't understand it. I really don't understand how that works and why we still look at it. 3 out of 5 is fair. Right. So what are you nagging about? I don't know about nah. But 3 out of 5 would mean, if it's 3 out of 5, that would mean that's fresh. I don't know what nah is, but 3 out of 5 is what those seemed like. Fair. That it's mostly okay, but not that great. Yeah, 3 out of 5. Anything under that would make it rotten. So I don't understand how it got to 74, whatever it did. Those all seem like fresh reviews to me. It's strange. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm fighting for Wicked to have a stronger score. I have no dog in the fight. I don't give a shit. But I like the movie. Thought it was fine. Enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it. But I do agree that the songs are not even close to as good as the first one. I just like the emotional journey better in most of the things that I see. So, no, you're not listening, Thunder God. You're not listening. 74 is a good score. Okay, sure. But my point is, the people that are giving it negative reviews and saying, well, it was decent, but I can't, what you just said, it's a 3 out of 5, but they're not giving it a 3 out of 5. From what that seems, the 3 out of 5, they're going 2.5 or whatever it is. It's really, it's solid. It's not as good as the first one. 2.5. It doesn't make any sense. 2.9. Can't get it to fresh. Why? So 75, I don't think accurately says what it is. But as far as, if you're just asking in general, why are people thinking a 74 isn't that good? Well, it's not phenomenal for a movie that's trying to get an Oscar, if that's more so what you're saying. And if you are, I apologize. But if you're saying that, well, why are they complaining about 74? 74 is good. 74 is not great. Not for an Oscar movie. It's still fresh, but it's not, as they said, they're trying to make a real run for Academy Awards. So, we'll see how that pans out. What do you guys think? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Are you going to see it? Or you're not going to see it? How is a 74 good and not accurate? These are the reviews. I can't keep explaining it. I'm sorry, buddy. I know that. I'm not arguing with you. You're not listening to what I'm saying. That's okay. That's fine. So it is an interesting in general. I wonder how this, with the movie, it is not going to affect the box office though at all. People who really want to see this are going to see it. They're going to check it out. So I am really, really wonder how it's going to do opening weekend. I think Zootopia 2 though is going to crush this movie now. I will say that. I think that the core audience it's not going to affect. But I think that it's going to affect, I don't know if it's as rewatchable. Okay. Stop this. Stop. Just for now. Just for now. Just stop. You're annoying me. Okay. So let's get into what are you checking this one out in general, or are you checking out Zootopia, waiting for Zootopia? You're going to see both of them. Were you fans? Were you not fans? Did you see the musical? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Okay. Let's see. Next one. Let's see. What else we got today? What else we got? Anything worth a damn? Or should we just get to the questions? Call it a day. I'm interested to see what are we going to do here. Anything else? We'll do Avengers. Let's do Avengers. There's an Avengers thing out here that we'll discuss. And I'm curious what this one is. Here you go. Avengers Wrap, Sync, and Doom variant talk. Here we go. This is some of the stuff I guess. There's been a flurry of Avengers talk in the past 48 hours. some with more weight than others. Arguably, the most concrete report came from longtime British scooper Baz Bamigboy, who says on Deadline that Stranger Things Sadie Sink will make the MCU debut. We did this yesterday. We talked about the Secret Wars. This has been an official confirmation, though Marvel itself has made no official comments regarding any cast on Secret Wars. The trade also indicates that filming on Spider-Man Brand New Day is set to wrap mid-December. What Sink's role is remaining unclear. Less concrete. Latest rumors suggest that Sink is playing Madeline Pryor, the Goblin Queen. Denner Nerds is reporting that multiple Doom variants will appear in Doomsday. I can also say that I heard that as well, with some big names to play those roles. Spider-Man Brand New Day will release in cinemas on July 31st. Is there anything else? Because that's kind of a dull one. There's another story here about Reed Richards and Doom. We'll get into that, and we'll call it a day on stories. Unless there's anything else in general you guys want to discuss today, story-wise. If not, throw those questions in. We'll get them going. So, Avengers Doomsday. Rumor points to Reed Richards having a lot of interactions with Dr. Doom. Makes sense. Dr. Doom is expected to target Steve Rogers in Avengers Doomsday. It sounds like we'll still get to see the villain interact with his longtime comic book nemesis, Reed Richards. Mark Cassidy writes, though he's obviously faced off against plenty of other heroes over the years, Doom has always been known as a Fantastic Four foe, with the leader of the team, Reed Richards, emerging as the maniacal villain's nemesis. Doom was briefly introduced in the mid-credits scene of the Fantastic Four First Steps, but some fans were worried that he may not get the opportunity to see this long-standing rivalry carry over to the big screen in Doomsday. It did seem like a valid enough concern, especially after My Time to Shine Hello recently described Doomsday as Civil War II, since it will once again focus on Evans facing off against Downey. The context will be different this time, of course, but it sounds like Evans' Nomad versus Downey's Doom might be the main focus of the movie. Fortunately, it doesn't sound like Marvel intends to completely ignore the Reed Doom dynamic. According to My Time to Shine Low, Richards will still have a major role in the movie and a lot of interactions with Doom, though we're sure this will ultimately clash. There is a chance that Doom and Fantastic will start out as allies, since Victor is expected to use his resemblance to Tony Stark to gain the hero's trust. We'll get our first official look at Doomsday in a few weeks when the trailer is released, but a lot of fake leaks have been doing the rounds online, and some of these AI-assisted images are pretty convincing. Okay. So, I mean, look, that to me is kind of a given, right? Kind of a given that you'd put them together. How do you not put Downey and Pedro Pascal on the screen together? You kind of have to. You gotta have to. So today you're looking for it, man. Damn. So if you guys in general want to see this with Downey and Pedro Pascal, tell me about it. How would you not want to see that? How do you not want to see it? And less about Downey and Pascal, more about Reed and Doom. How do you not want to see that? But the Nomad thing does scare me. I don't know enough about it, but it scares me. I'm wondering how it's going to work. I don't know. Anyway, but it's once again, this is more the reports that these things are this thing's coming around soon. We're going to start the trailer's what? A month away, literally a month away, the 19th. So pretty excited about that. People are going to be discussing that, breaking that down. So that's it. Nomad is cool. Someone said Nomad's a cool character. Okay. Well, we're going to find out. I don't know enough about it, but we will find out. We'll discuss it a little bit more on Capes as well on Friday. Return for that. So, okay. I'm going to take one more break real quick. And then when we come back, we'll do your questions. I think we got like 13 right now. And we will finish them up, call it a day. So if you want to throw your questions in, throw them in now. And let's get to it. Nutrafol was a game changer, man. I remember when back in the day when we first heard about them, Brett and I were like, all right, let's try it. Man, oh man, love Nutrafol. It's been so beneficial to me, confidence building. And I will tell you right now, you will love it too. What is Nutrafol? Well, Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, and it's trusted by over 1.5 million people. so you can feel great about what you're putting into your body, since Nutrafol hair growth supplements are backed by peer-reviewed studies and NSF content certified, the gold standard in third-party certification for supplements. Adding Nutrafol into your daily routine, it's simple. You purchase it online. There's no prescription required. It's automated deliveries and free shipping. It'll keep you on track. Plus, with the Nutrafol subscription, you can save up to 20%, and you'll have access to free one-on-one doctor consults to support you on your hair growth journey, and a Headspace meditation membership. It's included. So if you want to see thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months, use Nutrafol. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and a free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com. You got to enter that promo code Kristian. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com. You spell that Nutrafol.com. Use the promo code Kristian. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code Kristian. I always love talking to you guys about Cash App, and you've been smart. You guys have been signing up. Really smart. Because you don't want to fall for scams. It happens to everybody. You just feel, oh, man, it happened to me one time. And I remember just going, and I actually left my house to head to a convenience store because they asked me to, and I realized halfway through, oh, what am I doing? And I fell for it. And people fall for this stuff all the time. So the good news about Cash App is when you get the card, not only do you get an access to a ton of perks and benefits like early access to nationwide concert pre-sales or discounts on popular brands, but you have an extra security with the power to instantly lock or unlock your card right from your phone in just one tap. So if something like really shady is going on and it pops up on the card, Cash App got your back, automatically declines the purchase, sends you, say, hey, listen, something's going on here. Is this you? So you can rest assured knowing that your account balance is protected 24/7 by fraud monitoring. Spend with peace of mind today. You got to order a Cash App card in the app, or you just go to cash.app/card. Now, for a limited time, new Cash App customers can earn $10 off if they use the code SECURE10 in their profile at sign up and send $5 to a friend within 14 days. Terms apply. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank. Member FDIC. Discounts and promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosure. Cash App. Well, thank you to Cash App, and thank you to Nutrafol, and thank you to you guys. Once again, if you've been checking out the sponsors, then you've been supporting the show, and you've been getting yourself some cool shit. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Going to read the questions. You guys want to keep us going here today? Shorter show, longer show, up to you guys. And I think we covered some good stuff today. Pretty excited about that. Trying to see the first one that we got. See if we didn't miss anything. Nope, I got it. I'm going to start us off today, and that's Nathan Drake, who says, I'm a big Zelda fan. I would prefer live action. I think other people saying it should be animated don't really know the property very well. I couldn't agree with you more. I think that if you don't think that this could be a good live action franchise, then you don't really get the scale of what you could absolutely do with this. I mean, they've turned lesser things into live action with success, and now let's turn this into a real fantasy world. It's got enough. It's vast, but you got to get the right team to do it. There's no doubt about that. Nathan, do you think the mixed reviews for Wicked hurt awards chances? Roka and Campy both saying the first half isn't good. I know you liked it though. I like the first half. Yeah, I like the second. I don't disagree with them that the second half is better. I don't disagree with them. The first half of the movie, I know what you mean, but the first half of the second part is weaker than the second half. 100%. 100%. I agree with that. But I still enjoy it overall. But do I think the mixed reviews could hurt awards chances? Potentially. In the same way, like I said, I still think the performance by Julia Roberts in After the Hunt is one of the best of the year. I don't think she should be nominated anymore. I think she should be nominated. I think it's one of her best performances in a very long time. But the reviews is like 36% or something on that. I'm in the minority of a lot of people this year. I like that movie too. I don't know, maybe my old age. I'm not as aren't you supposed to get more grouchy as you get older? I'm enjoying more things as I'm going to see him in the theater. But I didn't like The Running Man. I didn't love The Running Man recently. You know, something, who the hell knows? I don't know. But and the same thing goes for Smashing Machine, right? Like everyone was talking about how The Rock was so good. It also shows that those film festivals don't mean dick, because it was an 87-minute standing ovation, and and now no one's been talking about that. So, do I think that it could hurt it? Yeah, of course it could hurt it, but it also, I still think there's a good possibility, and I think that they nailed it inside of that article, is that there's not a lot. I don't really know what the big competitors are right now. So you got to have a couple mainstream nominations in there. You just have to, if you want people to watch your show, because the majority of the movies that are nominated, and I've talked about this at length, most of the mainstream audience not going to know what the hell these things are. And like no one's going to know what Begonia is. No one's going to know Hamnet. And I'm not saying film people like yourselves aren't going to know it, but most people, you tell people who are casual movie fans that hey, you guys going to see Hamnet? They're going, what the hell's that? You going to, shit, man, Roofman. You guys see Roofman? What is that? Nobody knew what Roofman was. And that was a more commercial movie than any of those. So to have a big commercial movie like that, and especially stars with Arrivo and, Grande, I think they still have a good shot. Now, I will say, I think maybe John Chu might not. I think he should have been nominated last year, but I think this year might be tough. So I might pull back on that bet that I had. John Cross. In Glass Onion, Ed Norton receives Jeremy Renner's hot sauce, and Renner was cast in KO3. Is that his show, KO3? Is that what that is? I don't know what KO3 is. I assume that's his show, the show that Brenner has. I don't know if they're going to make reference to it. Maybe not. But I told you, that's going to be in the next rewatch with Sam. Sam's never seen it before, but we're going to watch Glass Onion. I'm going to see. I see somebody asking, what happened to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? One of my favorite movies of all time. Huge copyright thing on it. After sometimes freaking YouTube does this. Sometimes you'll beat the copyright side of it. You put it up. It lives there for a little bit, and then out of nowhere, then it gets a copyright after it's lived for a few hours. And so I was like, so it's back to the editors right now. And once the editors can get a hold of it, I'll have it up. I'm going to put it back up there soon. So that's what happened to that. But as far as Renner and Ed Norton, I don't know. Maybe it could be Sean McCabe. This is always confusing to me. I thought Sean was a member. Were you not? And then you re-signed up, because sometimes I feel like you just see people highlighted again after they've been a member already. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, let's see. That was actually pretty funny. When in the curtain up, somebody said, "Why am I streaming from a photo booth?" Did look like a photo booth at that point. It's true. Ralph, not trying to annoy you, but can we please show Sam 7, Shutter Island, One Bow? You're not annoying me at all. She'll be stuck in franchises in DEC, so there won't be a chance. No, you're not in December. No, you're not. You're not annoying me at all. And what I did find out for you, Ralph, Ming has not seen Departed or The Town. So we're going to do those. We're not doing those next. We're doing Frank. He's coming in today. We're going to do Frankenstein today, but I'll get him to do those other ones. And I'll get Sam on those other ones. I promise. Chimera, SnyderVerse lives, baby. It does it though. I mean, it could. It's got an opportunity to. But I don't know if it does yet. There's no deal. No deal has been signed yet, guys. Again, I would have written that SnyderVerse coming in hot. SnyderVerse has a chance to be restored. SnyderVerse is in the power seat. SnyderVerse has an opportunity here. We don't know what the deal is. I don't know. Darian, what's up, Darian? Hey, Kristian, hope you're well. I've always wanted to know about the development process in Hollywood. Pretty sure you worked for Silver in that capacity. I did. So many scripts don't get made. You have no idea. You have no idea. I mean, I talked about this. I don't know if it was on the air. I can't remember. We were talking about Altered Carbon. And Altered Carbon to me was a script that was in development with Silver forever. And Naveed wanted to make it into a movie, was trying so hard to get it pushed up the ladder to Warner Brothers for them to greenlight it. It just never happened. And then it became I guess Silver, I don't think Silver was a producer on it, but on the TV show, I think they lost it. Goes into what's called turnaround. After a certain amount of time, you hold the contract to it. And then afterwards, that's how we got a hold of He-Man, it was in turnaround. John Woo was doing it. And we had this thing called Weekend Read at Silver, where I would have to take home 10 to 15 scripts a weekend and read all these scripts. And so David Gambino and Eric Olson, who I worked for, they'd be like, okay, read this, see if there's anything interesting during the weekend. And so we'd have our big meeting with Susan Downey And then everybody would be like, okay, what did you read over the weekend? I was like, well, I read this. And is there anything interesting? Well, this is interesting to me. I just found out that the John Woo He-Man is in turnaround. Well, what'd you think of it? And I said, I think the script is terrible. Well, why are we listening to it? Because it means it's in turnaround. The property's in turnaround. We can get a hold of it. And the thing with the 80s cartoon, nobody got it. And I was like, well, I think that this could really be again, send so blue in the face, a Star Wars Lord of the Rings type thing. And they're like, well, we don't know, but if you want to explore it, go explore it. I was like, okay. So that's when I took it to well, the first thing I did was Riley and I had this treatment that we came up with, took it to this douche on the loose who was at working at Legendary, and he was real into it, helping us develop it, putting it all together with us, like really interested, helping us say we can do this, this, and this. Because I took it to my really good friend Fred, who was working at Village Roadshow at the time, and Dana Goldberg was the main person. She's blown up now. She was very, very nice. I've told her the story about her and how she made the phone call for me for Silvered for her endorsement. She was very nice, very smart person, and like you look at her credits and they're phenomenal. But Fred's like, I don't know if she's going to get He-Man, and so because someone told me if I could get the financier side of it, because Village Roadshow is financier, Legendary is kind of financier, get them on board, partner up with Silver, take it to Warner Brothers. That was the plan. So we developed it. We're working with the douche on the loose, who was really excited about helping us and do this. And then Riley and I are like, we got this thing covered. This thing's amazing. We're boom. Out of nowhere. He goes, oh, we have the rights for Conan. It's too similar. I'm out. Like, oh, okay. And then Riley was out of the project. So because that was the rights, because then Naveed's like, hey, I think I get this now. I think I understand, but we need to develop it kind of in-house, not outside with you and Riley. We need to develop it with some other writers. And I was like, okay, but I want to come in as a creative exec on the project. Fine. So Jennison and Strickland were these guys who, and you have to start from scratch because you can't use any of Riley's because it's Riley's. So Jennison and Strickland were these guys that I had found. They were buddies of mine who wrote a Wonder Woman script that they actually wrote it. It was a period piece, and because we had Warner Brothers, we had the Joss Whedon one, and it just they couldn't crack the code, and so they wrote it, and I lost my mind over it. That was just so amazing. Took it to my buddy Trevor Engelson, and said, Trevor, this thing is solid, man. Read this, and he read it, signed them immediately, and then we took it to Susan Downey, who also read it, loved it, got them signed on, took them to the Warner Brothers, and they bought their Wonder Woman script. You can look it up, Jennison and Strickland, Wonder Woman script, and they ultimately kind of replaced Joss Whedon on the project. But then Joel didn't understand that world at all. He's like, hey, it shouldn't be a period. It shouldn't be period. It's got to be modern day. Modern day. It's like, no, you can't introduce her in modern day. But nonetheless, it's irrelevant. So what happened then, moving on, is that we then got into a conversation with them, Jennison and Strickland, about He-Man. I said, hey guys, listen, this is where we want to go. This is kind of the tone. Do you guys, can you see this? And they said, yeah. So we're working on it, we're putting it together, all this stuff. So then we get a phone call, and we get this phone call, and it's from Justin Marks' agent, who, and again, I always say this when I tell this story, I love Justin Marks. He is Shogun and everything too. Brilliant. I have no issues with him. I think he's brilliant. I love him to death. But we got a call from his agent, and it's like, I was in Naveed's office. Hey, Justin's working on this pitch for Masters of the Universe that he was brought from Neil, douche on the loose. So the guy took everything that Riley and I were telling him about it and the understanding of it, pushed us to the side, went off and got the great Justin Marks. Justin had no idea what was going on. He was just doing his thing. Justin's the man. And that's a Hollywood douchey story. I almost wanted to choke this guy out. I didn't, obviously, got for Naveed, but that's That was one of the reasons I wanted to leave and move on and do my own thing, because I just didn't like the way that things happen in that world, and I'm sure it's even worse now. So anyway, that's my development story there. So there you go. Okay, let's see. Next one, and this is from Mad Dog 26 so far, guys. Can we get to 106? Come on, we can do it. Mad Dog, I'm curious how you and other YouTubers do reactions and not get copyright. Like, is there a limit of seconds you can show once? Yeah, that's the whole thing. You have got to get it to a point where there's fair use rules. You can show so much footage at a certain amount of time, and if you don't, hence Eternal Sunshine, if it goes a little over, then they'll hit you with copyright. So, Alex, does anyone know why the Saudis want the SnyderVerse back of all things? Is there some political there, or is MBS just a big fan? I think that they have a very good relationship with him, and clearly taking pictures with him and having dinners and all that stuff too. Maybe they really like the movies, so maybe they're just big fans and wanted to see it continue on. So it's very possible. So I think that's why. Yeah. Oh my God. Tyler, beat it. Please do not. I'm asking you guys this. If we cover a story here, don't fucking tell me not to cover a story. It's BS. What are you talking about? How do you know? Are you in those meetings? And then what happens, Tyler, if that happens, if all this happens, and let's say hypothetically, this deal happens and an Elseworlds thing happens, or they restore it, right? And we chose not to cover it. Now, I think there's a difference between saying this is factual, this is happening, and reporting on that. But the conversation of a potential, he's got a relationship with him. If there was like, well, how do you come up with this report? There's no relationship. There's no even evidence that they've had any conversations. Clearly they have. He was tweeting out pictures and stuff too. So don't do that. I fucking hate it. I hate it when people, why are you covering this? It's on the site. Because it's a potential story. Gunn could be there. He could not be there. What do I think? I think he's going to be there. But as a potential, don't do that. Just don't do that. It's so short-minded, and it's like, so you don't run these types of things. Don't do that, please. I fucking hate it. Okay. Thank you, Alex. Next one after that. So far, 27 so far. Not bad at all. I think we can get there with an hour so far. Big break here as I'm going through the questions. And thank you, by the way. We just had some more people on Patreon recently and doing a lot of those rewatches. Full rewatches of the movies. So I hope that you guys have been checking those out. The Lil Yankee, per my super chat yesterday, Avatar 3 meetup. I can contribute to your Kickstarter to see the pilot in a theater. Happy Wednesday, all. Thank you, Lil Yankee. So I just don't think I have enough time to rent out a theater for an Avatar 3, man. I just don't think I'll be able to do it. But to rent out a theater and for a party for the premiere of the Kickstarter, I think is something we've been discussing to potentially do for backers to kind of celebrate with once it's made. 100%. Armada, did you ever listen to 90s hip hop group De La Soul? Of course. They have a new project this Friday on Nas's label. Do they really? Oh, wow. That's cool. I love De La Soul. Yeah. Yeah, of course. I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know. That's really cool. Okay. Let's see. Armada also says, curious about Rental Family this week. Might be a sleeper hit, to be honest. Also appreciate the chat to get that refund from the wallet thing. LOL. Also appreciate the chat to get that refund. You didn't like Ridge? Also appreciate to get that refund. I don't know what you mean, Armada. Let me know what you mean. What do you mean? You didn't like Ridge? Love Ridge. Go Pal. Did they not announce Sync is in Spider-Man 4? No, they announced that she's in it. They just announced who she was yet. I don't think. That's what they said. So anybody see I guess I'm gonna do my reaction to Welcome to Derry, the new one, soon. I think so. I don't know yet. Go Pal. Either I made that up or Sadie will have to be playing the same character in Doomsday that she'll be doing in Spider-Man, right? Yeah, that's the question. That's why She's not going to be in Doomsday though. They said Secret Wars. So if she's in Secret Wars, then most likely, I mean, Jean Grey's got to have a shot, or that Toby daughter character, Nathan Drake. The lack of great songs will repeat viewing. I agree with you. I think that's why it's ultimately going to maybe hurt the box office. I do think that Zootopia is going to crush it now that I have seen it. So let's say again, 28. Okay, Alex, I don't know how you feel, but isn't it a bummer that they announce plot details like this so far ahead of time? Remember just watching movies and finding out? Oh, so you mean when scoopers are doing it? Yeah, it's kind of, sometimes it's a bummer, but there's also so many rumors that are not true. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. Sean McCabe, so many nuances with this whole studio deal. Do you think there's a version that takes more creative control away? Sure. Any one of them could do that. Because the other thing we didn't really discuss, Sean, inside of that is the Netflix side of it, right? I think it would be a big blunder on Netflix's side, which, look, for the valid concern is Netflix does not like to do theatrical release movies. And I said this the other day. If they take and take over and take all of their library and put it on the streaming service and make content from Warner Brothers through the streaming service, then yeah, that would be a kind of a big hit in general. But if Netflix takes the Max library, takes everything else too, and puts, although I think they said they weren't interested in Max, but they take all their stuff, put it on Netflix, and then just run Warner Brothers film, and maybe, like you said, you make a deal. If someone comes in, sits down with Ted Sarandos, and he says, okay, look, all right, Greta Gerwig, here, and this is the example I gave the other day. You can take $220 million or $250, whatever, and go make it for Netflix, where it'll be a streaming movie, or we'll give you $150 and you can make it for the theater. And you will have to pay a little less to do it there, but you get theatrical. It kind of fits that missing link with creators that they didn't have if they wanted to do that. Sean McCabe also says, or rather put a limit on creative control. I think so also. It just depends. Randall W. Feel you, Kristian. Been screaming into the void about Rotten Tomatoes ratings for years. Just easy consumable for the masses, but not accurate. Fast food of movie criticism. I mean, well, yes and no, right? Because the criticism inside of the reviews, the aggregator itself, they're pretty good reviews. A lot of like very talented people that are putting their reviews in there and putting their thoughts in there 100%. The question is, though, like I said, if you've got to, sometimes you have to score it like, well, I just can't get it to fresh. But I thought it was a 3 out of 5, but because I don't want to give it a fresh review, I got to go 2.9. And it's like, it doesn't feel right. So that's why I just not a big fan of the system. Brandon Ninja, why do authors agree to bad adaptations? I like Witcher. They sell their property to it for money, and it's not the bad adaptations. They don't go in with the intent of bad adaptations. They go into the intent of making a good one, but then the process just kind of hurts on the way in. So there you go. Haskell, what's up, bud? Amazon Prime is making a new Stargate series. That's fun. I haven't seen the last one in a very long time. John Cross, I meant Jeremy Renner's hot sauce was in Glass Onion, and Renner was cast in Dead Man. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. He was in. Wait. So, okay. So I saw the movie. I don't know if there was a reference to it. I saw Dead Man though, but I could say there wasn't a reference and I missed it. So I don't want to say it in general. So I'm not sure. Alex, aren't you glad Netflix picked up Altered Carbon so they could really get you invested in the story and cancel it after 2 seasons? Love those guys. Yeah, it's a bummer. I never saw it. It's funny though, but it's a bummer. How was the series? Was it Joel Kinnaman? Who was in that? Wiley Todd. It's almost the end of the year, and SNL music doc is still one of my favorite movies of the years. Have you seen it? Also, I loved Ojai. I didn't love Ojai, Wiley. I didn't love it. I actually loved the first half, hated the second half. I thought it was just two styles that just didn't work. I like her a lot, and thought her chemistry with him was pretty good. I like Logan, but yeah, I didn't love that movie. I wanted to love that movie. The music doc, no, I haven't seen it. So it's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Matt Krugman, what were Big Ball's top movies of the year? Oh man. I don't think he watches a lot of movies. He's been hanging out in candy stores, like just eating like chocolates and stuff. I don't know why. It's a weird dude. Weird little chipmunk. Ralph, thank you for the departed with Ming. It's gonna be good. He's gonna love it. He's gonna love it. He's gonna love it. Okay. The little Yankee down for Cage's Tales from the Script Wednesdays. Yeah, I mean those are some good ones. So yeah, let's see. Thank you, Josh. See, and that's the other thing. There's people that I like that you cover every story. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. I try to. Just try. You got to have conversations. You got to have conversations. If you don't have conversations, you have to. Thank you, DJ Case. Day 10,231 of Harloff having explained. We discuss movie news here. Yes, even if you don't, even if it's like a possibility, you don't take things as fact. You say people are reporting on this, and if is there a world where this could be true? Well, yeah, here's the reason why. The reason why it could be true is because this person knows this person, and because of that, it's a scenario that could happen. This is something that couldn't happen. There's no way. But if it does, it should be discussed. DJ Case. Oh, I didn't lose my wallet in the theater. I lost my keys, Armada. I lost my keys. DJ Case gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, DJ Case. Where you been, buddy? Thank you. That's really nice of you. Really appreciate that. Very, very nice. Good time to do it. We're booking our live streams pretty soon. Our new ones, they're exclusives. Armada, the wallet I lost in theater. Okay, the wallet you lost in theater. Okay, there you go. It's 3 years ago. Okay, sorry about that. That's the worst. It's the worst feeling in the world. Sensitive Brooklyn. See, that's the thing. I think I would have lost my wallet though. I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have. It would have been returned. Keys? What the fuck are they gonna do with keys? Tony Randall and I love olives. What's your favorite olive? I'm not an olive person. I don't like olives. I really don't like olives, to be honest with you, at all. So, not really fair. Gopal. Kinnaman was in Altered Carbon season 1, Mackie in season 2. Books were great, but I never quite finished the second season. Okay. Well, there you go. Guys, 32. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. So, I hope you guys had a good day today. I had a good day. It was fun. And what else? Well, as I mentioned, I'm going to try to get some more information, hopefully this week, about when the hell we can announce this Kickstarter. I'm trying. So when does the filming start for the pilot? That's the question. So my goal and hope is that if we launch and I've mentioned this before in the past, and I don't want to assume that everybody sees every stream. Kickstarter definitely pushes campaigns that hit their goal quick, right? So, and as I've been mentioning 1,000 times over, and you're going to hear me say this 1,000,000 times again, this is what we have to hit in order to make the show. Got to hit this. And if we do, we'll make a version of the show. If we overperform and we get to here, then we're going to really do something even more extraordinary, because the names that maybe weren't reachable on that cast list here, they're reachable here. But if we hit here, and that's all we hit in general, still making a show. And the goal right now, it would be like February. That's a goal, is to try to shoot it in February. Now, things change, but that's the goal. Sean McCabe, happy 12th birthday to Liam. Much love, team. Happy birthday. Indeed. Okay, guys, 33. So hopefully that answered some stuff. Thank you, guys. Really appreciate you. And yeah, I'll probably have another one. Johnny Bravo. Why is Netflix so against theatrical releases? I feel like highest stream movies are theatrical release, stands to benefit them more. I don't think so, though, because I think that they clearly are benefiting them. You heard the money that they're having in cash and all this other, the subscriptions and everything else that they have. They don't need to do it. They don't need to dump more money into the theater. They have better success of having their money, because the thing is, yes, let's say you make a film and it does huge profit. Well, that has more money in the bank, sure. But if you keep losing it because people aren't, it's hard now. It's not how it used to be. People don't rush out to the theaters. It's not like, I was talking about this the other day with my my wife. It's that when we were kids, like, what are you doing? So let's just go let's just go to the movies. We'll go to the movies this weekend. What's out? I don't know. We'll find something. Let's go see something. Kids don't do that now. Wicked's coming out. They're going to see Wicked, but they don't do that. It's like, you just go to the movies because there's 1,000 other things to do, or you can just do this and spend, 11 hours a day on screen time, whatever it was that Roxy said, which is crazy. Who did? Confused. Anyway, so thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And love that. Love that you guys are here. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Clips channel. Check that out. So I'm going to tell you that I don't know if we're going to be on tomorrow. There's a possibility. It just depends on whether or not I'm going to do what's your question? I did your question already. What's it about? What, where? Hold on. I missed your question. Let me see. Where? I thought I got your question already. Didn't I get it? Let me see. I missed. I'm looking for your question. Brandon, why do authors agree to bad adaptations? That's the only one I have from you, is the bad adaptations one. Did you do another one that I didn't see? Which one? I'm not sure which one. I only see the bad adaptations one. So let me know if that one. No, it's not a matter of Roka's not free. I'm doing other things tomorrow. So no, Steph's out tomorrow. So that's why. That has nothing to do with internet problems at all. She's not gonna be around tomorrow. So I think that I'm either gonna do a solo show, have someone in with me, or it might just take the day and catch up on some stuff. And then Friday we'll be back. So anyway, you guys, Apple Podcast, Spotify, like I said, Clips channel, we just hit 15K on Clips. Really appreciate you guys. That's it. You guys rule, and we'll see you on the flip side. Have a great day. Bye.